I'm in a good mood today, so I think that this TBR is gonna be just super fun. Just as a side note though, I feel like this TBR is a little all over the place, so expect those vibes in this video. My name is Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing all of the books that I plan to read in March. Fingers crossed, because there's a lot going on in this TBR. There's a lot of readathons happening. There's a lot of grad school projects that are laughing at me and my attempts to do all of these things. So we'll see kind of how it goes. But before we begin, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Book of the Month. Take it away, me who's standing up. Thank you, me who is sitting down. And now let me tell all of you about Book of the Month. Roll that fun rainbow transition.
So what exactly is Book of the Month? Well, I'm glad you asked. Book of the Month is a monthly subscription service. Every month, their team vets hundreds of books to select a carefully curated list of 5 books for you to choose from. From thrillers to fantasy, debut authors, and longtime favorites, Book of the Month always has an incredible range of books. Simply select the book that you want to read next, and it's delivered to your door. Book of the Month is also completely risk-free, as you can skip a month anytime you want, or choose a backlist title with popular selections like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or The Vanishing Half. And now onto this month's book selection. First up is In a Book Club Far Away by Tiff Marcello. Estranged friends reconnect to heal past wounds in this heartwarming story of friendship, forgiveness, and army life. This is an early release and contemporary fiction. Next up is the final revival of Opal and Ed by Donnie Walton. For fans of Daisy Jones and the Six, a rollicking tale with equal parts rock and roll and black feminist punk spirit. This is a debut novel, an early release, and historical fiction. Next up is Too Good to Be True by Carola Lovering, and what a beautiful name! This is a thriller, so cue the scary music. That's better. Unsettling and twisted, this creepy thriller will make you wonder which of its narrators is telling the truth. Next up is What's Mine and Yours by Naima Coster. Also, you guys, this book is beautiful. Strike the pose. Anyways, this is literary fiction. With warmth and empathy, this multi-generational novel traces the lives of 2 families in a divided southern community. And last but certainly not least is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. Forget healing salves or soothing tinctures. This apothecary specializes in one thing: helping women fight back. This is a debut and a fantasy and my personal pick of the month.
And for the entire month of March, you can use the code BOOKBUD to get your very first box for only $9.99, which is so incredibly exciting. So you can pick one of those books to be delivered to your door for only $9.99. The link is down in the description as well as the code. Happy reading, my friends. And now back to me, who is sitting down. Thank you again so much, Book of the Month, for sponsoring this video. I always appreciate being your partner, and I'm excited to work with you again. Okay, having said that, let's go ahead and jump into the TBR. So as usual, we are starting off with my poll from Instagram. Every single month, I ask my Instagram followers to choose between 2 different books to read, and I also vlog that experience. My vlog for last month, The Death of Mrs. Westaway, will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and that is a really fun vlog, so be on the lookout for that. So I had you guys choose 2 different books this time. That's 4. Hey. And the first 2 were both middle grades. So the very first selection that I had you guys pick from is either The House at the Edge of Magic by Amy Sparks or When You Trap a Tiger by Tae Keller. I was on pins and needles and you guys chose The House at the Edge of Magic! I am so incredibly excited to read this one. This is a book about an orphan named Nine, and Nine steals a magical object, and that magical object happens to be this house at the edge of magic. But everyone in the house and the house itself seems to be cursed, and Nine has to try to break that curse. I am so glad that you guys picked this one, although the other one looked really fascinating too, and I can't wait to read this. The second option was between Lore by Alexandra Bracken or Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This was a close one, and the winner won only by a couple of percentage points. And the winner was Six of Crows! Well, how exciting. I don't know why, but that whole segment brings me so much joy. The only thing that I really know about this is that it follows a band of thieves who band together and they try to do a heist, but I've heard that it is remarkable. I can't believe I've never read this series before, so thank you so much for voting for this. I can't wait to read it and vlog my experience. Next up, I'd like to tell you about the book pick for the month of March for my book club that I run with my friend Kaylin, A Touch of Whimsy. This month we are reading Percy Jackson, and I am so incredibly excited. This is kind of a staple in the middle grade genre, and I have never read it, but I remember being a bookseller and kids would be so incredibly excited to pick up these books, and their hype and excitement always got me really hyped and excited. So I really can't wait to delve into this world. This is about Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson discovers that he is a demigod, and I think that we are just exploring his journey. I really don't know a lot about this, despite all of the hype and popularity, and I really want to go into this book not knowing a ton because I want to be really surprised. Kaylin and I will also be joined by some lovely co-hosts this month, and I am so incredibly excited. So we will be joined by Soleil from The Little Reader's Corner, who is our moderator, and just a pocket full of sunshine. I love her so much. She is my study buddy, and she gets me through grad school, basically. Like, our weekly study sessions and our Animal Crossing, it's what friendship is all about, you know? And then we will also be joined by Allie Dunn. I am so incredibly excited. I saw that she commented for the announcement video of the book club selection that she always wanted to read this, and I immediately DM'd her and was like, Allie, would you like to co-host? And Allie and I are also going to be buddy reading this together, so I am just so excited. The live show date will be announced. We want to confirm it with the other co-hosts first, but I think tentatively it will be set on April the 3rd, which is a Saturday. However, more details for that will come later. Next up, I am going to give you a little bit of my selection for middle grade March. I love middle grade March so much, and of course I am so excited to participate this year. If you don't know what middle grade March is, it is a readathon hosted by Krista, Katie, and Amanda. I will link all of their channels down below, and basically it just encourages people to read middle grade or pick up middle grade for the month of March, and of course I was going to participate in that. The first book that I have here is the group pick, and that is The Brave, and this is by James Bird. This book is about Colin, and Colin has a very unique condition where he wants to count all of the letters in the words being spoken back and forth. And so whenever he is talking to someone, he tells them the number of letters in the sentence. But this can kind of drive people away or feel uncomfortable around Colin, and so Colin's father decides to send him off to live with his mother, who lives on a reservation. Colin and his mother are Ojibwe, and so I believe that parts of this are about reconnecting to his heritage, his past, and about learning more about him and his family. I've heard really good things about this, and I love that it's the group pick, so of course I had to get it. And then the other book that I am just so excited to read is Amari and the Night Brothers, and I have to be honest with you, this is my #1 priority for March. If I don't read anything else aside from Percy Jackson, since that's the book club pick for A Touch of Whimsy, this is the #1 book I really want to read. I've just heard so many good things. My friend Liv told me that I'm going to love it. My friend Gavin told me that I'm going to love it. Also, Gavin interviewed the author. I checked that out. It was incredible. I will link the author interview below. Please go check out Gavin. He works so hard for those author interviews, and he just does such a good job. I'm just such a proud friend. But anyways, back to the book. This is about Amari, and Amari's brother Quentin has gone missing. One day though, she goes into his bedroom and discovers a ticking briefcase. And this kind of leads her to find a magical school where all of these kids have these incredible abilities. So Amari goes to this magical school, but her only real goal is to try to find out what happened to her brother Quentin. And I am just so excited. I think it's gonna be magical. I have such high hopes. It sounds incredible. I just get so incredibly excited for middle grade, and I think it's gonna be really great. So yes, this is a #1 priority. And then of course I will also be reading The House at the Edge of Magic and Percy Jackson. However, I have quite a few books that I really want to get to for this particular readathon. So I've actually made an entire video just dedicated to all of the middle grades that I have highly anticipated, that I have purchased, that I have hauled, and then backlist titles. And that video should be going out next week. So if you want to see a more extensive list for middle grade March, check that video out, because I'm kind of doing a little bit of like a mood reader thing throughout the month. Yes. Okay. Next up, I have my classics jar. So once a month, I like to reach in this jar and try to pick a backlist title for one of the classics that I already own. However, this month, I already know which classic I'm going to be reading, because it is going to be a buddy read with my friend Christine, and it is also the group pick for the next readathon I will be attempting to participate in, and that is Tis the Damn Readathon, the Taylor Swift readathon. There's a Taylor Swift readathon. I can't even, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I am like one of Taylor Swift's biggest fans. My dream in life is to go to one of her concerts. Like I love her.
At dinner parties, I call you out on your contrarian shit. You're the one I want. I don't need your closure.
So anyways, when I heard about this, I immediately just like got so excited. And then Emma from Drinking by My Shelf actually reached out to me and asked if I would like to participate in one of the live shows, which is so incredibly exciting. And of course I said yes. And so I will actually be participating in their group read, which is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This has been a book that you guys have known I have wanted to read since last October, and I think I just kind of needed like a little bit of a push. So I'm so glad that this is the group read. I'm also so glad that Christine wanted to buddy read this with me. She's become kind of like one of my little classics friends. So we get to talk about classics together, and it just kind of makes the reading experience even more fun. So this book is about an unnamed narrator, and she goes and lives with her new husband in this mysterious old mansion. However, everyone seems to be obsessed with his late wife, Rebecca. This book is about this girl and trying to figure out maybe what happened to Rebecca, and also the mystery surrounding Rebecca. It's a gothic suspense novel. I think it's going to be really fantastic, and I can't wait to watch the movie with my friend Christine. So anyways, that's Rebecca. If you want to know more about Tis the Damn Readathon, I will go ahead and link the announcement video down below that Emma did from Drinking by My Shelf. It is fantastic. There is the cutest bingo board ever. This actually was designed by Harry from Bedlam Books, and I will go ahead and list that account down below as well. I'll just go ahead and put all of the hosts down below because there are quite a few, and you should totally check all of them out. I'm really excited. There's a ton of different ways you can do this bingo board. So if you don't have a lot of time like me, you don't even necessarily have to read a ton of books, and you don't have to complete every single album. However, I will be trying to complete one prompt from my favorite albums, which are 1989, Folklore, Evermore, and Lover. I haven't fully decided on the books or the things that I will be doing for this readathon yet, aside from Rebecca, but I do know that I will be attempting to read Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney, because Taylor Swift has said that this is actually one of her favorite books. I'm going to use this readathon to try to read one of her favorite books. I think that would be really fun. I don't really know a lot about this. Sally Rooney's synopsises are usually quite vague. However, Normal People was a 5 out of 5 stars, and I read that last year and absolutely loved it. So I'm okay with picking this up not knowing a lot about it, because Normal People was a 5 out of 5 stars, and this was one of Taylor Swift's favorite books. I know that this follows Frances. I know that this follows, I think, like her relationship with a man named Nick. So I think it's gonna be really cool. Again, I know that that's a super vague synopsis, so I hope that's okay, but yeah, Conversations with Friends. And if you're interested in joining the live show, I believe that will be March 27th. I will be there. I think it's gonna be on Emma's channel, and it's gonna be really fun. Next up, let me go ahead and mention the next readathon. I think this is the last one that I am participating in. Like I said, March is chaotic, but I'm excited about it. And that one is going to be Beccas Bookopoly, the 48-hour readathon. And I am so incredibly excited. I feel like everyone knows Becca's TBR game, Bookopoly, at this point. It's kind of famous. It's like one of my very favorite TBR games to watch. And if you haven't checked it out, I will link down the announcement video, but also a couple of my favorite ones that she's done from the past. But this particular 48-hour readathon is going to be so fire, because the whole thing is going to be live. I don't know how she's doing that, but I'm so excited. So she has a plethora of hosts, and every like 4 hours basically on different channels, there will be live reading sprints. And I am so excited because Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, who is one of my very, very dear friends, is going to be a host. And he's actually asked me to come and try to stay up with him. And so I will be there on the live for Beccas Bookopoly-a-thon. Gavin and I are basically gonna have like a live slumber party, and I'm so excited. It's all his idea. It's gonna be on his channel. We're gonna have hot chocolate and pajamas, and I'm so incredibly excited. I'm just gonna try to get in as much reading as possible. So yeah, if you are interested in participating in a really, really fun 48-hour readathon, check that out for sure. Okay, we've got a couple left. So every single month I am trying to read one Shakespearean play, and I'm doing pretty well. January I read Hamlet and I really, really enjoyed it. February I read Romeo and Juliet for the month of love, and of course I really, really enjoyed it. I think in my last video I said that they needed to take a nap, and you know, that stands true. However, I would say that the play totally made me cry. Because March is so packed already, I decided to try to pick the shortest play that I own, and that is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. All I know about this is that it's kind of about fairies, and they meddle into the love lives of people, and everything kind of gets messed up. And honestly, maybe that's what's happening in my life. Like, that would make sense. I think it's gonna be really, really cool. And I really like that I'm staying with my goal of reading one Shakespearean play every single month. I'm also attempting to read one short story collection every 2 months. Last month, I finished up Karen Russell's Vampires in the Lemon Grove, which I liked, but I didn't like as much as her previous work. I really enjoyed St. Lucy's Home for Girls a little bit more. This month, I will be reading The Wilds, and this is by Julia Elliott. I think this is gonna be fantastic. We have to have a moment for the cover because my God, look at how cool this lady looks. Like, I wanna be friends with her, you know what I mean? Don't really know a lot about this, although I do think that the stories are speculative in nature. There might be some magical realism in here, and I love that in short stories so much. So this will be a collection that I read through the month of April as well, and I think it will be quite fun. I've actually heard Jen Campbell talking about this book recently, which is fantastic. I purchased this book years ago, but I haven't gotten the chance to get to it yet, and then watching Jen Campbell talk about it made me really excited. I will go ahead and link down below the vlog that she did while she was talking about this book because I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, okay. And then I have 2 more books in here, but honestly, I am considering these both bonus books because there are so many books on this list. Let's be real, I don't really have a life, and like, books are my friends and my entertainment. So the probability of finishing books is gonna happen inevitably in March. However, the sheer amount on this list is probably a big no, so we'll find out. So the 2 books that I have as my bonus are We Ride Upon Styx and also The Death of Vivek OG. This is a book that I found from Kayla's channel from Books and Lala. We have very similar taste, and it's interesting because I knew we had similar taste because I had been watching her channel even before I started a booktube channel, and it's where I got a lot of my recommendations from. But I've just recently been noticing that we typically hate the same books and we typically love the same books, so I really, really trust her as far as her reading taste goes, and this was her favorite book of last year. So I bought it in January, but I'd really, really like to try to get to it this spring if possible. This is about a field hockey team, and there's magic involved, and it takes place in the 80s. And the last book, The Death of Vivek OG, is a book that has been making its rounds on BookTube, and I have just seen so many creators who I really like and enjoy their reading tastes talk about, so I picked it up just because so many people really loved it. However, the synopsis is a little bit vague. This is about Vivek, who is left, I think, on the doorstep of a family, and so we see the bonds between Vivek and the family, but also I think that Vivek has something to discover about themselves. The very last part says, compulsively readable, teeming with unforgettable characters, The Death of Vivek Oji is a novel of family, friendship, and the self that challenges expectations, a dramatic story of loss and transcendence that will move every reader. I think that is everything for my March TBR. I am so incredibly excited, as always, to read all of these wonderful books. I love books with my whole heart. And I also love BookTube. I also always feel like there are so many fun channels to discover in the community as well. There's always so many fun readathons going on, and it's like a party, you know? It's a party for bookworms. But anyways, I think that is it for now, you guys. So until next time, you guys, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!
You're my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight.